Hi, you're listening to Book Chat with author Vivian E. Moore.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Hello and welcome to Book Chat. I am your host, author Vivian E. Moore. Did everyone have a good Christmas? Had a good holiday? I hope you did, because I sure did. It was wonderful. In some places in the city, we actually had snow. We got snow, but it didn't stick. So I guess technically, quote unquote, we didn't have a white Christmas, but still, we got some snow. So I was excited about that, and just the day in general. It was a very nice day, and I absolutely enjoyed it to the utmost. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get started with today's show. So the title of today's show is Don't Nobody Bring Me No Bad News. And the topic is new possibilities for 2021. Because I believe 2020 will go down as a unique year, one never experienced, at least during my lifetime. We saw the impact of what 2020 did for the entire planet. It was affected by virus, deaths, joblessness, remote learning, and working from home. That changed every individual perspective of normalcy. You're talking about low blows and in unsportsmanlike conduct. When you think of 2020, that reached across the basketball courts and football fields and straight to to the political ring as well. But nothing can top 2020 as far as bad news is concerned. So today's title reminds me of the song from The Wiz. A big shout out to Quincy Jones for his imaginative take on The Wizard of Oz. But the Wicked Witch sang in The Wiz, "Nobody bring me no bad news," and I cannot agree more. Unlike Mr. Jones, who redid a classic with success, I don't want to do over, because I'm done with 2020. It can kick rocks. I had my share of it and the bad news that came along with it. All I want to see of 2020 is this reflection in my rearview mirror. I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to a better year and better news for 2021. 2020 left us desperately scrambling for optimism when there seemed to be little of it anywhere around. 2020 forced us to rearrange how we live, work, and exist. But don't despair. I am an honorary ambassador of truth and wield the power of positive thinking. I hereby declare that 2021 will restore hope in humanity and what we all long for and need. All right? New possibilities, inspiration. If nothing else, 2020 should inspire artists to bring forth new material and creativity. God knows we have enough factual information to write untold stories of the bad taste it left in everyone's mouth. I can't even get it off my tongue. It was so bad. But anyway, we can't say enough about 2020 and the strain this year placed upon our lives. But 2021 should motivate everyone to look ahead and not behind, to appreciate the challenges we all experienced, even if in unprecedented ways. Diversity inspires change. And I, for one, want to be part of that movement. 2020 changed the lexicon of what we understood of chaos and confusion. It placed an entirely new spin on that and life as we knew it. But I'm excited. And I don't know about you, but I am so excited. And you should be too. You know, my hope is restored. And I can't wait for what 21 promises. You know, whenever bad things happen, you know, we always want to look forward to something better. You know, we want some good news. You know, we don't want to hear bad news all the time. And I know maybe what I'm saying is over optimistic, although I would say never. You know, optimism is warranted and effective in achieving goals. So what I want to do is to encourage you and prepare for a year I predict to be a fantastic year of opportunities. So you got to take advantage of it. You know, we cannot waddle in what happened in 2020. It was bad. Okay. It was horrible. But you know what? Even though it was one of the worst years, and it was a year that, you know, if I could just sweep under the rug, I would. But you know what? 2020 should have taught us a lot of lessons as far as life is concerned, because nothing is promised. And, you know, with it, it's often wrought with an unfair amount of bad news. And we've all had a share in that. Still, in 2021, my borders will be closed for any bearers of bad news. And yes, I know that rain will fall in every life. And to that I say, bring the rain that waters and brings forth life and new opportunities. So that if that's your takeaway for 2020, that's a good takeaway to bring into 2021, because, you know, we want to be inspired by trials and tribulations, because they are meant to make us stronger. You know, they're not meant to defeat us, to break us, but to help us to bend so we don't break, because we need that. We have to learn to take the good with the bad, and take the bad and turn it into something good. You know, we always have opportunities for that. And 2021 is like a master lesson in, you know, in having, if your expectations were that nothing bad ever happens, you know, or that, you know, it surprised us all. It was shocking. You know, I can say that much about it. But 2020 taught me a valuable lesson, and I hope it taught you one too. It taught me a lesson of humanity, and it taught me to always expect the unexpected, to accept the good with the bad, you know, to learn from all the mistakes that were made in 2020. And I'm talking about a long list of things, you know, not just the year in general, not just the pandemic, but everything that happened as a result of that pandemic. You know, the pandemic wasn't any one person's fault, but I believe that the actions of many, you know, could have prevented so much loss. But still, you know, that's behind us, and we have so much to look forward to. And we don't want to bring that sorrow of 2020 along with us in 2021. We want to leave it right where it is and move on, move forward. That's the purpose. You know, God does everything for a reason. You know, he does not arbitrarily do anything. He has a plan for our lives. And, you know, and we sometimes, you know, may not be prepared for it. But still, you know, there are lessons to be learned. There are teachable moments in everything. And, you know, as a writer, you know, I feel inspired because 2020, you know, it brought forth a lot of good, you know, probably more than bad in my own life. And I thank God for that every year, you know, for every day, you know, and for that, and for 2020, because like I said, it was a teachable moment. And it should have taught us something. Maybe you can't, you know, point out one thing, but if you were to sit down and make a list of all the good things that 2020 has inspired you to become or to be, then you should do that. Because, when I watched programs on television and I see children, making masks and formulating hand sanitizer, from their homes to give to the needy and to homeless shelters and things like that. When you have people, setting up accounts where nurses and doctors and all the frontline people that that sacrificed and put their lives on the line, for so many because of this pandemic. They set up accounts for them where they could receive gifts, because it shows appreciation. And that's one of the bigger things that I think I've learned from 2020 is appreciation, to appreciate the things that you have. Because, and I always said, I always end the show with it, tomorrow is not promised. So, we have to be thankful for what we have for that day, for our daily bread, for whatever you have in that day, whether it's good or bad, be thankful because you're still here. You're still a part of this life, and you can overcome. We can all overcome 2020, and I guess you're wondering why I'm harping on 2020. Well, the new year is next Friday. And so I want to get a head start on it. I want to get a head start on 2021 because I'm already optimistic. I'm fired up about 2021 and I want you to be too. I don't want us to just waddle in regrets, for 2020, because there's a lot of things that happened. I lost some people that, that I care dearly about in 2020, but still, I still have a lot of people that I care about in 2020, and God willing, they'll come along with me in 2021. So I'm thankful, and I want you to be thankful. I want you to be inspired, regardless of the bad news, and no one wants it, but, it sort of equals out the playing field when you have good with the bad. So it keeps everything in the proper perspective. So I'm ready for what the next year will bring, and I hope you are too. So cheers to a happier new year, and I want to say happy new year to you right now because officially it's next Friday, so I want to be able to say that and then say it again once 2021 is officially here. But before I let you go today, I want to make sure that I give you these URLs so you can bring that along in 2021 with you. Because I'm looking forward to big things happening for Book Chat for 2021, and I'm excited about it, and I want you to be excited with me. So anyway, the first URL is https://www.spreaker.com/user/author Vivian E. Moore. You can follow me on Facebook. You can like me on Facebook and also on Twitter and Instagram. You can also visit my website, and that is at https://www.authorvivianemore.com. You can follow my blog, which is at https://vivianemore.blogspot.com. And as far as the show is concerned, it reaches across many, many platforms. And I forgot to share with you last week, but I received an email telling me that Book Chat is very popular in Greece. So I'm very thankful about that and for that. And again, I say to Greece, thank you for listening. And but you can listen to it on Spreaker. You listen to the show on Spreaker or Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, YouTube, SoundCloud, and JioSaavn. So those are all of the platforms where you can listen to the recorded episodes of Book Chat if you are unable, depending on your time zone, to listen to it at 6 p.m. each and every Saturday. All right. So guys, that's all I have for you. And tomorrow is worship day. So I hope you are preparing for that because, we need to be able to hear a good word. Oh gosh, we need to hear a good word. And, and many people, they don't get to hear it maybe during the week, but on Sunday, if that's the only day, the one day that you're able to sit down and actually listen to some sermons, please do that and invite others to listen in with you. We are still not in a physical building. We're still doing it over the phone. And so many other churches are doing it through live broadcast, through social media and other mediums. So, if you are fortunate enough to where you can stay at home and still get the word, then that's good. But if you are going into the church buildings, then you need to make sure that you are being safe, because we don't want anyone to get sick, and we don't want to get sick either. And also tell someone that you love them, because tomorrow is not promised. Today may be the only chance you get to say that. So I love you. I hope you love me back. Until the next time you hear my voice, God bless you and goodbye.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple. It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.